Oh man, so anybody who has joined the market since after the summer of 2021, you have just been in for a baptism of fire because the market has completely dumped on us. This is something that those who have been around for a while, who have been around for enough cycles, would have been used to, would have been accustomed to. For those of you who haven't, this would have come in for a big shock. That is why I'm here to guide you guys through this, to remind you that all is good. This is normal, this happens, and that we need to stay the course and we need to get through this. Because I remember in summer of last year, as a simple example, feels like yesterday, that we were down. Let me just bring over the chart. We were down in this dump here, wicking down, I remember profusely, down to 28 at a point, touching 29, sorry, touching that point, and it felt grim, right? Remember, similar to now, this is after we came off highs of about 64 at the time, okay? So this was a similar retracement. This was a big retracement down. Let me just take the measured move. So if you look at this move here, whoops, very roughly. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. So we're looking at that move down of 54%, right? And that's what we're now getting similarly now. And that's having a big effect on some of our favorite altcoins. We're going to come into the Phantom chart shortly because I'm going to share with you where I think we can go from here and what's next. What are our next support lines? How low can this go? And what are my plans? And what am I doing? But as you can see here, we're now here on a 45% retracement on Bitcoin. I was warning of these patterns in yesterday's video. So again, if you've not seen my video from earlier today, the Bitcoin video, the one with the thumbnail with the Bitcoin, pause this video, go and watch that video, because in that one I do explain. It's a bit of a lengthy video, guys, but definitely one that's worth watching. It was a proper emergency video. I stopped what I was doing and I bought this video just to share some thoughts. I wasn't doing any TA, I wasn't doing any patterns. I'm just sharing with you what I think is going on, how it happened. And this is something we predicted in yesterday's video, guys. In yesterday's Cosmos video, I mentioned this could just be a brief rally up to 43 to then dump straight back on us. And it was exactly that, guys. We got manipulated, liquidations of over 900 million now over the last 24 hours, and it keeps rising. So this is crazy right now in the market. We can see fear and greed is sitting at super low levels here at 19. That is extreme fear. That is pretty bad here in the market, and things aren't looking good. We've got the bond yields up, still super high, 1.753 at the moment. And things aren't looking good. The market is fearful, okay? And we need to prepare ourselves for further risk to the downside, because at the moment, you can see here, we're fighting on this daily candle to hold this violet wedge. Right here. Okay, so you can see that right there. But more importantly, what we can see is that this horizontal support, let's just zoom in here. There we go. This horizontal support at 40,000, the psychological level, which was supposed to hold, didn't hold whatsoever, okay? It just got slammed straight away. And then your next support line is at 38,405, and that's the one we're trying to fight for right now intraday. Okay, if I head into the 4-hourly candles, you can see here Bitcoin is trying to hold that level. But at the moment, I have no confidence that it's going to do so. And that is because if you head over to the weekly, and again, I explained this in detail in my other video, we are in a super bearish mode right now. 3 weekly candles below our EMA ribbon. And this normally does not spell good for what's going to come next, right? So you've got to prepare yourself. You've got to have your mindset ready for lower price points. And if for any reason you're unhappy with any of your altcoins, such as Phantom or Bitcoin or anything else, retracing down another, what kind of percentage move would this be? Let's take a quick, let's take it to the violet line, another 21%. Okay, if you're not happy with that, then you need to consider some of your positions. Okay, so let's head into the Phantom chart, because what we can see here is on the 4-hourly, we were monitoring this ascending triangle. And I remember I posted the video a couple of days ago saying, will Bitcoin ruin this for us? And the reality was it did. And it's not just Bitcoin's fault, actually. It's actually the wider economy, because this was led by some fears around the Fed, around the stock market. We saw tech stocks sell off, and then naturally you get the associated sell off with Bitcoin as well, because like I mentioned in the other video, Bitcoin is just a risk on asset. That's how it's defined. People don't think as sophisticated as we do. They go risk on, we go to risky stocks. We go to Teslas, we go to tech companies, we go to Bitcoin. That's how it's associated. Oh, we're scared. Let's flock to bonds. Let's flock to safe stocks such as banks and other safe assets. Okay, and we'll come out of crypto. That's just how it is, right? They don't think as sophisticatedly as we do because we've been in this space. We understand this space. And so this is just collateral damage. All of our altcoins will get smushed. And you remember I said, even when Phantom had its temporary moments of decoupling, when Bitcoin was going horizontal and down, we covered it daily on this channel here. I said, this can't go on for too long. How do you realistically think this can continue? If Bitcoin had a 10% down day, do you really in your heart of heart think Phantom's going to go up 5%? No. And we got what was bound to happen. And we've now had a retracement here on the downside on Phantom for about 28, 29%. But here's the saving grace, right? Because the reality is from where we were on Phantom down from the wick all the way down to 115 when we were covering this, we are still up an impressive 110%. And that is why you've got to zoom out and look at the picture. Because the reality is, in this coin in Phantom, we've managed to pick probably the strongest coin with a decent enough market cap and a mission statement and been around that is surviving right now. So if you let's just take a look at this. Bear with me here for the second. Let's go to the daily. And we've got our EMA ribbon. Okay. So look at this. Bitcoin, bearish on its EMA ribbon. Okay. It's below its EMA ribbon. We've been bearish for a long time. Let's check Ethereum. Bearish on its EMA ribbon. Okay, let's check Atom. Okay, one of the ones we cover on this channel, interoperability, holding its EMA ribbon. Let's look at ADA. Bearish on its EMA ribbon. Let's look at Phantom, the other one we cover. Still just, we're going to cover this in a short second, still just bullish on its EMA ribbon. It's not lost its EMA ribbon just yet. It would have to close below 237. We'll come on to this in shortly. Solana, bearish for a long time on its EMA ribbon. Algorand, bearish on its on its EMA ribbon. Luna, bearish even on its long-term ribbon, despite the run it's been on, right? It's flipped bearish due to this dump. And we can continue. Avalanche, bearish on its long-term ribbon. And that is why we have to understand that with Phantom and Cosmos, which we always cover on this channel, these are two projects that are holding up really well to Bitcoin. And the beauty of it was how big a run it had to the upside. Remember, I was saying in the videos when we were up here, you probably annoyed some of you. I was saying, look how much room we have to correct to the bottom side. And I kept mentioning this 237 level because we do have the room to come all the way down to 237 whilst maintaining our EMA ribbon and bouncing to the upside. So that's the benefit of having such a good extension to the upside. And remember, I shared with you on the weekly, where Bitcoin again on the weekly, if I show you, is bearish on its EMA ribbon, right? 3 candles below. Phantom would have to close below about 123. So for Phantom, it would have to fall another 45 to 50% for it to close below its weekly EMA ribbon. Okay, so you can see just how much room we have here to still stay confident here on Phantom. Even if Bitcoin continues another 10, 15, 20% down, this is one of my conviction plays. And for me, if this came down any lower, and I'm going to go through the support lines right now, if it goes any lower, I'll be looking at these positions to further dollar cost averaging. Remember, I was not buying at the peaks here. I said that specifically. I want to wait for more of a retracement. And now we're starting to get those. So let's head straight back into the 4-hourly chart because I'm going to share with you what my game plan here is for Atom. So the first thing we have to notice is we were in this ascending wedge pattern. Now we know 75% of the time this breaks to the upside, right? From a technical perspective, these patterns break to the upside. Here we didn't get that because of the macro situation and Bitcoin dumping. Naturally, it sent us to the downside of our wedge. But what's the technical target? So you can see we're picking up some support here at 237. Let's see if I can get a better view on this one, guys. There we go. So you can see we're building some support at 237. That's great. So we can see here on this 4-hourly candle, the bulls are trying to hold this level. If we lose this level, remember I said the next level is at 208. But here's the beauty of the 208 level. Not only is it an important support resistance line dating back to previous levels where we can monitor the number of touches we've had on this line, but also it's the bottom of the wedge, which would be your technical level for a breakdown target from ascending triangle. Okay, so if you're in this pattern, you break to the downside, your technical pattern would be at the bottom of the wedge, okay, 208. So I'm looking at this 208 level. If we lose this level here at 237, I'm looking at the 208 level. At this point, I'd want to be topping up some more, not financial advice. That's personally what I'm doing. I'm also then saying, okay, Bitcoin continues to have bad days. The levels I'm looking at then are 194, and then thereafter, I'd probably skip 179. I'd be thinking about 165. Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but I'd be thinking about 165 as a potential level, which I'd want to go really heavy in on if I can get my hands on any more 175 phantoms. Okay, so definitely something I want to be keeping an eye on are those levels, and those, we got to be prepared for this now. If Bitcoin falls and it stays below 40 for a while, it gets, God forbid, close to 30, there will be mass panic in the market, and all these altcoins will continue to bleed. You can see now Bitcoin is down 5.4%, Phantom is down 9.7%. Okay, so this could be a sustained downturn, and we need to keep an eye on this. If things turn green, that's fine. I'm not saying it's going to keep going red to the downside, but it looks like that now based on the bearish bias I have on the weekly chart. Okay, but if it goes green, great. I don't need to do anything, right? If it goes green, great. I'm happy with my position. But if it retraces to lower levels, I want to be building my conviction. But here's the message I want to leave all you guys on. If you're holding Phantom right now and you're nervous right now on your Phantom, sitting where we're at now, which remember on the daily has not even closed below its EMA ribbon. It's still in bullish territory. You're still 110% up from the move from the downside. If you're nervous in where your position is now, most likely you bought at the peaks here. And now you need to ask yourself, if you've got a high cost basis, because you're buying here in the $3 and chasing the green candles, which we've reminded you guys not to do, and I hope you don't do it in the future, then you need to ask yourself the question of, do I have conviction? Will I be able to stomach it if it falls to 165? If it falls to 165, will I panic sell or will I accumulate? And if the answer is you're going to panic sell, and you admit it to yourself, right, because you don't have enough conviction, you're unable to build the conviction, then the reality is mathematically you're better off cutting your losses now than at 165. Not financial advice, right? But it's common sense. So that's one for you guys to take away. Make sure you introspect. Make sure you know what your conviction levels are, because if we're going to a sustained bear market, and remember, I've been through the one from last year. I sat through this, through the 29s, and I know how painful this can become. Then you need to make sure you are only holding your high conviction plays. Look through your portfolio and make sure any of those with low conviction you wipe out, because trust me, if it falls another 20-30% here, you're going to start panicking. Okay, and it's really important. You're better off cutting some of those losses now than panicking and holding these through with no conviction. There's one thing holding something with conviction, right? I held my Bitcoin through this with conviction, but holding on to some pump coin, which your friend told you about, which is now 90% down, praying that it's going to bounce back, you don't want to be doing that. So any of those silly little plays that you got yourself into while Bitcoin was booming at 69,000, which, you kind of got a bit of a loss on, not financial advice, but maybe you want to consider closing those because you've still got another 20-30% downside on Bitcoin, 20% downside on Bitcoin, right? To 29,000. And what could that do to some of your weaker altcoins? Really important that you go through that process. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you appreciate this blend between technical and fundamental analysis sprinkled with a little bit of psychology when you need it most, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you appreciate these types of videos. Make sure you support this channel. You can hit join button and become a member of this channel. That is your way of supporting me here on this channel to bring you these videos in these moments of need. But also, if you have any questions, you'll get access to our community thread, which is for members only. And in that thread, you can ask me questions on your favorite coins, your crypto, what to do with a certain situation. Not financial advice, but I'll be able to give you answers there one-on-one to your questions. As always, the link in the pinned comment will be the link to the free public Discord server. You got to make sure you're over there, guys. If you're not in there yet, you are missing out. Meet like-minded people, get alerts to all my videos so you're the first to watch them. Ask questions about your favorite cryptos. Tag me in any questions as well. It's just great to be part of a community so you don't feel alone in these moments. You've got people to support you, to stop you from panicking, to give you that reassurance or to give you that non-financial advice. Make sure you head over into there and meet like-minded people. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.